All right, guys. Boy, look at those weeds. Let me get that taken care of. Today, we're gonna attempt to suck out these manure pits. So here this July of 2024, we have been extremely blessed with tons and tons of rain. I think like we got 5 inches last week, something like that. It was a boatload. So with that, we have these manure pits have filled up with water. Now they had a little bit of water when we moved here, and there is a drain. Oops, there's a drain hole in here. And let's see if we can see it from here. So you can see it's draining a little bit. I don't know if you can see the hole. I'm sticking this through the fence. But it's a smaller hole, and I really don't know. Like I said, we didn't build this barn, so I really don't know what it looks like down inside here. It's not something I asked the previous owner. I totally could. I could call them up and be like, hey, how do we get this thing to drain? But I do know that he had a trash pump, and so that's what we're going to use. I went to Harbor Freight and bought a trash pump. I've had experience in a barn like this before, and when it would fill up, we'd put a sump pump in that end where it was just water and just keep watching it and suck it out. But at some point, we're going to have to, once we get this dry and when we get it cleaned out, I'm going to look at how to get this to drain better, because I'm assuming there's probably a pipe, because that's the downhill side. So I'm assuming there's a pipe running from that bay down into this one, and then there's, I know, that drain pipe there. So we need to get that working correctly. They can get plugged because of the hay and everything like that in here, and if you go poke a stick in there, it starts draining. But it's not draining fast enough to get this clean, and if a cow was to climb up here and get in here, it could be a bad deal. While I was gone to that conference, I looked at this and went, oh, there's no way they're gonna jump up over this lip. You know, they've got all this grass. Now there's a bunch of ragweed because of all the rain, everything. Ragweed sucks water. So, but I was like, oh, they won't try. And sure enough, while I was gone, one tried to get it, or one did get in there. And so my wife went and got these panels, got them rigged up around here, and we haven't had any issues since. So, but it's been on the to-do list for a while to get this drained since we moved here. So that's what I'm doing today. We're gonna look at this little trash pump here. This should work no problem. Like I said, it's a Harbor Freight 2-inch trash pump. We're gonna see how it works. If it doesn't work, guess we'll sell that one and get a bigger one, or rent one. I could have rented one. So this goes back to my mentality. I try to think about all the numbers of things before I make a decision. To rent one was $60 a day, I believe, before taxes, for a 2-inch trash pump. And that was from the local rental yard. I called them and asked them, said 60 bucks a day. You know, so after fees and everything, probably would have been closer to 70. And I looked at that, and I think this was on sale for $289, I believe. And this hose was expensive. This hose was like 70 bucks, the inlet, the suction hose. It's non-collapsible. And I think the outlet hose was like 20 bucks, something like that. So I looked at that and went, okay, if we use it 3 times a year, you know, we're basically gonna pay, you know, be real close to paying for the pump. Then we have it and you can use it for other things, which now I'm glad I have it, because I've got a water tank out at the lease ground that's leaking, and I need to go drain that tank and fix it. So now I've got a pump to go do that. So anyways, guys, like I said, today we're gonna look at draining this, see how this little pump does. We've already got the screen installed. We're gonna fill it up with gas. We're gonna prime it, hook the hoses up, fire her up, see how she does. Yeah, I think we can see. All right, well, I can't get it to start, and I'm guessing, you know, I checked the oil, and I mean, there's definitely, it looks like it's safe to me, but I did read that this has an oil shutoff, so if it doesn't have enough oil, it won't start, and I can't get it to start. So I'm gonna go get some oil, and we'll try to start it again. All right, ran to the store, got some more oil. We're gonna try to top this off because I was reading the manual again, and it's got to be all the way to the top, not just where I thought it needed to be. But we're gonna try to fill that back up and see how that goes. We're also gonna put a little bit more water in the top because I got it almost to the top, but not all the way. So I'm also gonna fill the water all the way back to the top just to make sure we're good and primed. There. why that's draining over there, I figured I'd come over here and show this. So that's draining just like we wanted it to, down over here, and then it'll drain off into that catch pond over there. I don't have my rubber boots on, and I used to have a little stake hanging on this nail, but I bet it's down in there. But that's the drain hole there. So if I had my stake, I could stand here and clean that hole out. But that's all that is. A little 1/2-inch hole is all. So I think we will have to figure something else out once we get it drained, figure out what it looks like. But right now the pump is doing its thing. I did take the filter off because that filter was just gumming up with all the hay and everything in there. And so I took the filter off and it started working a lot better, which we've got footage of that. So maybe we'll look at that, maybe we won't, I don't know. But that's where we're at.